Headship as Ohaneze chieftain Isi Guzoro commends Igbos for not protesting against Tinubu's administration. Hello viewers and welcome to Info Gist TV. Okechukwu Isi Guzoro, a chieftain of Apes Igbo sociocultural group, Ohaneze Ndigbo, commended people of Southeast for their calmness in abstaining from the series of protests against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu over the economic hardship across the country. He said the Southeast has always suffered government neglect since the administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari till date. He has urged Tinubu to implement the recommendations of the 2014 Constitutional Conference amidst the hardship confronting Nigeria. In a statement he signed, the factional secretary general of Ohaneze said in the wake of the nationwide uproar and agitation sparked by the escalating living costs, the economic distress, and famine, a resolute calmness emanates from the old eastern Nigeria, comprising the southeast and the south-south region. The striking serenity and resolute silence amidst the prevalent anger and the upheaval in the north and the southwest have left many, including the presidency and the north, astounded. The prominent Igbo social organization and the unwavering sociocultural organization advocate for the people commend the citizens of the old eastern region, particularly the southeast, for their exceptional acumen and sagacity in obtaining from spearheading protests against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration and the federal government amidst the economic hardship. Now, since the inception of the Muhammadu Buhari's regime in 2015 to the current Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, the Southeast has borne the brunt of governmental neglect and discriminations worldwide, whether it be the center's exclusion, the wanton demolition of Igbo properties in Lagos without the federal intervention, the systematic burning of Igbo markets in the southwest, the minimal federal ministerial appointments given to the Igbos, or the unjust incarcerations of Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, juxtaposed with the favored treatment of figures like Sowore and Igboho. The injustices meted out to the southeast are glaring. This is the Ohaneze Ndigbo speaking. They continued by stating that as protests surge in Niger, Kano, Lagos, Osun, and Abuja state respectively, the absence of the casualties of protester killings resulting from insecurity intervention starkly contrasts with the haunting memories of the southeastern lives lost during the past protests against Kanu's detainment and the tragic Oyibo massacre in Rivers State. Ohaneze stands in awe of the Southeast populace for their undaunted bravery and the rare insights in the weathering the storm. In their voice, we stand in solidarity with all the suffering Igbos and Nigerians nationwide, urging the federal government to overhaul President Tinubu's floundering economic team with competent hands to salvage the crumbling economy before it collapses completely. Moreover, in their words, instead of issuing hollow threats to disillusioned citizens, the government should heed the voices of reasons and implement the recommendations of the 2014 Constitutional Conference to quell the mounting dissent and the rebellion. We should recall that Tinubu made this known in a post on his Instagram page. He wrote that there is no joy in seeing people of this nation shoulder burdens that should have been shared years ago. I wish today's difficulty did not exist, but we must endure if we are to reach the good side of our future. Saying Tinubu, the son of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has urged Nigerians to endure the current hardship in the country, adding that the decision taken by the president should have been made years ago. He also expressed optimism that while difficulties exist presently, the country's future is bright. In the same spirit, comedian Oluwaseyitan Aletile, professionally known as Saying Law, recently stressed the need for Nigerians to be optimistic, while stressing that he would still vote for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu if a fresh election comes up tomorrow. He likened the current economic hardship in Nigeria to the biblical wilderness experience of the Israelites, saying he would rather stay with a Moses through the wilderness to Canaan than eat meat and drink wine in slavery in Egypt at the expense of my children's future. That is his words. In a lengthy post shared via his X page, formerly known as Twitter handle, recently Saying Law said while a lot of Nigerians kill the optimism of others with hate and urge for immediate gratification, it is sad that our government agencies are not communicating government agendas, efforts, and actions effectively. That apart from the removal of subsidy, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, also announced the unifications of all segments of the forex exchange markets as part of the efforts to engender transparency in the markets and boost investors' confidence. That although the policy has been widely applauded as well-intentioned and necessary, it has put additional pressure on the local currency and manufacturers with ripple effects on prices. Both the policies are being put in place at a time Nigerians are just recovering from the shocks of a controversial Naira design policy that crippled businesses and made life difficult for many Nigerians who could not access their funds for several months. Also, that although the federal government has announced a series of palliatives to mitigate the impact of petroleum subsidy removal and similar shocks on the people, many Nigerians are still reeling from the devastating impact as prices of petrol, foodstuffs, and other essential commodities continue to rise. Now, in a lengthy post shared via his X handle, formerly known as Twitter handle, recently, Saying Law said that while a lot of Nigerians kill the optimisms of others with hate and urge for immediate gratification, it is sad that our government agencies are not communicating government agendas and efforts as well as their actions effectively. Also, we should recall that President Tinubu on the 29th of May, during his inauguration, announced the removal of subsidy on petrol, a development that has caused hardship for many Nigerians because of the attendant increase in the prices of goods and services.